guys, thanks for tuning in to Eastern Cryptid Encounters with Kim. Today's story is going to be about a guy out of Summersville, West Virginia who went on a hunting trip with a buddy of his in the search for Bigfoot, and while on that hunting trip, his friend disappeared without a trace. So if you guys like these kind of stories, please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos I post daily. I try to post at least 3 to 5 times a week. And guys, our PayPal and GoFundMe is in the description in the link. So let's go ahead and jump right into the story. I was about 30 at the time and was learning from a man that I met by chance about researching Bigfoot. He was in his early 60s and had taken me under his wing to teach me all he had learned from chasing Bigfoot around the hills of West Virginia. He never carried a firearm when he went out. I, on the other hand, had always carried a rifle and handgun. We heard of an encounter that 2 older men had while deer hunting in the area around Summersville, West Virginia. The hunters told us these things chased them out of the woods one afternoon. They had never been into the holler, as everyone said it was haunted and it had those yahoos in there. They didn't know what a yahoo was, but I guess you could say they learned the hard way. We went in there about 12 o'clock around the middle of January, and even after begging him to carry a firearm, he would not. I never got out of sight of him all afternoon. I just had a very weird feeling that day and was on edge. We went to the head of the holler and found tree breaks and tree bows all the way up the holler. We started out of there about 2 p.m. and never heard any squirrels or any birds the whole time. On the way out, he was walking a mile a minute, and after knowing him, I could tell something was bothering him. We got back to the area of some caves, but we were above them, and he told me to go over and check out a tree break because he had to go at that time. I walked over about 75 feet away from him and hollered and told him to hurry as I was getting the wheelies. After about 30 seconds, I turned around and never saw him. I yelled and said, "Stop playing." He never answered me. I then ran down to where he stopped and was hit with a stench of week old dead skunk and really bad body odor. I started yelling for him and pulled the rifle off my shoulder. I unsnapped my holster to my .44 Magnum too. I looked around and found scuff marks and partial footprints in some mud. I followed to just above the caves and lost the tracks because of the rocks and frozen moss. I left there at a dead run and went to call for help. I called the state police and 2 units showed up. I took them in there and showed them where he was last seen. It was only about 200 yards from the road. After we went in there, they decided to back out and make some calls for more help. They called some DNR officers and then went back in and made me stay at the vehicle and make a statement to another officer. They did a chemical test for powder on my hands, and then I sat there with 2 troopers until 9 p.m. when they finally came out. The troopers and DNR officers come out and told me it was a bear attack. I never found any bear sign in that whole holler, and I told them as much. I was told in no uncertain terms was he taken by a bear. I went back a few days later to look for him but found nothing. I stopped at the local post to get a copy of the report but was told there was no report. I drove by there a couple of times and was stopped by troopers and told to go home. I have went back there a few times, but the land has new barbed wire fence and posted signs up every 50 feet. I never found my friend or what got him. To this day, I beat myself up for not watching him better and not letting him out of my sight. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please leave your comments on what you think at the bottom.